We got the 2026-27 season off to a magnificent start by producing a dominant display to brush past Manchester City and win the Community Shield. On an afternoon where everything went right in Cardiff, it took us just 24 seconds to take the lead through Ricardo Calafiori, before Kai Havertz added a second on 28 minutes. Our 18th Shield success was secured 2 minutes after the restart when Martinodegaard netted a superb solo effort as he slalomed his way through the City defense, putting the icing on the cake on an excellent individual and team performance that builds momentum nicely before the start of the defense of our Premier League trophy on Friday. We made our first return to the Principality Stadium since 2007, a venue where we won 3 FA Cups during the first decade of the new millennium. And 19 years on, we stylishly added more silverware to our honours board away from Wembley to give a new generation fond memories in the Welsh capital. Red and white shirts easily outnumbered sky blue inside the stadium, famous for its sliding roof which, had it been open, would have been blown off just 23 seconds into the game when we stunned City. We went straight at them from kick-off, got into their final third, and a trio of defensive-minded players did the damage. Ben White found Miles Lewis-Skelly, who produced a neat body swerve to make a half-yard of space, and played a neat through ball into Calafiori's path. The Italian once again showed a striker's instinct by casually tucking the ball past Gianluigi Donnarumma to bag our first goal of the campaign for the second season running. That would have come as a shock to new City boss Enzo Maresca as his game plan flew out the window so early. But while we looked to exploit any further rustiness from our opponents, many of whom hadn't played since the World Cup, we couldn't quite test Donnarumma again before City got a grasp on proceedings. They forced David Raya into his first work of the season when Phil Foden let fly from the edge of the box, but our number 1 pushed the danger away. But we continued to dazzle in the sunshine, and soon doubled our lead, as Christos Tzolis registered his first assist as a gunner. Noni Madwick knocked the ball back for Martinodegaard, who clipped a cross to the back stick towards the Greek winger. He in turn nodded it back across the box, where Havertz was waiting to head downwards, causing issues for the giant frame of Donnarumma, who couldn't keep it out as the German scored on his 3rd start in a row. Desperately needing something to get back into the game, City came back at us, and just before the 40-minute mark, Erling Haaland looked destined to find the net from close range, but Raya was equal to his shot, and seconds later only a brilliant diving block by White stopped Jeremy Doku converting a Antoine Semenyo cross. But we finished the first 45 strongly, and after Madwick had a couple of attempts saved and Calafiori volleyed a White cross, Odegaard saw an attempt squirm under Donnarumma, but it was hacked off the line as City escaped into the break just 2 behind. But that didn't last long, as 2 minutes after the restart, the skipper did get his goal to seal the Shield with the whole half to play. Lewis-Skelly found Tzolis on the left, who drove towards the box, and picked out the run of Odegaard, who skipped past Josko Gvardiol and then brilliantly dummied Donnarumma to roll the ball into the empty net to all but guarantee he would be lifting the silverware later in the afternoon. That was Martin's first goal since December due to an injury-plagued 2025-26, but promisingly he looked sharp throughout in the thick of our attacks, and a superb turn left Rico Lewis for dead to start a move that led to the returning Bukayosaka shooting into the side netting not long after his introduction on the hour. Saka then was inches away from making it 4 when he connected with a low cross, but saw it spin just over the bar, and despite having his winner's medal secured, Raya was determined to add a clean sheet to his ever-growing collection, and pulled out a magnificent reaction save to tip away Semenyo's low drive. Our 3-0 win is the biggest margin of victory in a Community Shield game since 2014, when we beat the same opponent by the exact same scoreline. This was our biggest victory to nil against Manchester City since then, while it was the Citizens' heaviest defeat to nil against an English side since November 2024 against Tottenham Hotspur 04. Since the start of the 2023-24 season, Manchester City have only won 2 of their 9 matches against us across all competitions D4L3. Enzo Maresca suffered the joint heaviest defeat by a Manchester City manager in their first game, with Harry Newbold in 1906, the only previous one to lose by 3+ goals, 1-4 v Arsenal. This is Enzo Maresca's joint heaviest defeat as a manager in English football, having only once previously lost by a 3+ goal margin Chelsea 0-3 Brighton in February 2025. Ricardo Calafiore's goal, after 23 seconds, is the first scored in the opening minute of the Community Shield since Bobby Owen for Manchester City against West Bromwich Albion in 1968. Our opener in this match is the quickest of the 668 goals we have netted under Mikel Arteta across all competitions. Along with scoring, Martinodegaard completed the most passes 55-58 and dribbles 3-3 of any Arsenal player, as well as winning possession the most times for us 9. Kai Havertz has been directly involved in more goals against Manchester City than any other side in his club career, 4 goals, 3 assists. Christos Tzolis became the first player to assist 2+ goals in a Community Shield game since David Beckham in 1996 for Manchester United versus Newcastle United. The Premier League gets underway on Friday night, and we'll get the action underway in the first game of our title defense against newly promoted Coventry City. Then we have a 10-day wait before we head to Aston Villa on Monday, 31 August. We'll then be back in league action at Emirates Stadium against Chelsea on Sunday, September 6th.